everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, and I haven't been uploading on this channel. Just no other word for it. I haven't been uploading on this channel. I just had the busiest month of my life, and unfortunately, it was also the month in which I was the most excited to play Elestrals, so I have all this energy about this card game that I just can't get out to you because I have to feed my family. Ugh. Anyway, the busiest month of my life will be concluding tomorrow, Thursday. So from that point on, expect frequent uploads on this channel, both the decks from Kissimmee, breakdowns of the event, and shorts about the stuff that is happening in the format. We have to throw all that out the window for now because there was a ban list today for some reason. There's a ban list at noon. So if you're unfamiliar, Elestrals usually goes set release, 2 months, ban list, 2 months, set release. But that ban list is, of course, malleable, a la Yu-Gi-Oh! And for that reason, they can move it up or down as they see fit. They moved it up. Why did they move it up? Well, I think anyone who watched Kissimmee can probably tell you why. This video is 3 minutes long if you want some insight into what they probably did.
Hey casters, today we have some adjustments and updates to share about the live stream metagame as we work to improve the experience for players around the world.
That probably just foretells what exactly is going to be happening, but just to give you all a little bit of insight, the live stream meta is the best Elestrals has ever been. If you've been staying out of Elestrals because you didn't like the compare stats sort of creature combat that was really popular in base set and Frostfall and to a lesser extent Daybreak, that is now completely gone. Decks have consistent linear game plans that do fun, interruptible, repeatable, and engaging stuff. I really like all of the decks that are popular right now. I'm not a huge fan of Blistrix, but the rest of them, like the Lakagon deck, the Solar deck is one of the coolest things I've ever seen played in any game ever. The Latagon deck plays low to the ground. It's perfect for newer players. The Bronteglow deck I love because Bronteglow is the man. It's just so cool. I've mentioned multiple times I think this is Elestrals' Edison moment, not because the power level of the cards has gotten so much higher, though it has. It's because I think this is the position where Elestrals differentiates itself from other card games. You know, creature combat is cool and the game was well managed, but that is something I can get in other games. This is not. And I have been a little frustrated watching people talk about live stream meta in the context of like two specific cards that I think are powerful, but no more frustrating than a card like Trap Dust Shoot would be in Edison. So for that reason, I am excited to see this ban list, and I think we can all probably guess what's on it.
Usually we wouldn't be so quick to act after the
all
launch
these
of a
decks
new
are
format,
so
but
tight.
we've heard you loud and clear and want to make livestream the most enjoyable.
This Ibufen deck is maybe the coolest deck of all
We're really
time.
excited to see how the livestream format has developed so far. We were hoping to see more synergistic decks.
Here's the
emerge
Latagon
and good
deck.
Stuff piles fall off, and that's happened beyond our biggest dreams. There have been some incredible innovations.
Ash Winters' Lakagon deck is, I think, maybe the gold standard for the strategy.
This new focus on archetypal strategies has been a huge hit, and we're going to continue to evolve this idea in future sets. However, while we're excited to see new strategies emerge, the leap forward in synergy has refined the edge of powerful decks with big swing turns, such as Aphrodite Lakagon combo, Apollo Mass Fortel, and Frost Self Mill.
Okay, I'll just translate what's going on here. So back when the game was compare stat lines, there were a couple of cards that turned off opponents' interactions to facilitate big swing turns. There was a really low limit on what a swing turn looked like. It was like Viscerous get a guy and like Snowball a little bit. Nothing that was unrecoverable. And for the most part in Elestrals, the Spirit deck has mattered so much that even if you have a big swing turn, you are not out of the woods. Bear Bomb, for instance, was a deck that had one of the most powerful swings in any game ever. It would like summon a big unoutable asshole, an additional guy, recover some spirits, and then get in for 4, right, of 20. That's like a fifth of your life points. And then it was almost impossible to come back from that position if you are the other player. But it wasn't like the worst thing in the world, provided you were way up in spirits. Frequently, because Bear Bomb was so spirit intensive, you would fire the bomb at like 5 spirits remaining, and your opponent would be at like 14. So you hit them for 4, they go to 10 to your 5, and then they Earthquake your Majursa, take you down to 8, then like go Viscerous. They're at 7, you're at 5, you have a Gorgon's Gaze, but like, are you going down to 3 to contest a Viscerous attack that otherwise threatens to run away with the game? Like, it turns out the Spirit deck mattered so much more than on board for pretty much the entirety of Elestral's lifespan. That is no longer the case. Boards are now good enough that if you get way ahead on board, you can feel secure at 1, even 0 spirits. We watched a game in which Swolax on this solar strategy went to 0 with known copies of Guardian of Light in the back row, and it was like, what do you do from this position? Sans Eruption, you really can't make it happen. Kier went down to 0 multiple times over the course of his run to 2nd place. I mean, it's really just very frightening stuff.
Even with barely 2 weeks of tournament play,
this was probably the play that sealed the fate of some of the cards you are going to see today. If you have time, go to the Kissimmee VOD and watch the top 4 match between Kier and Bean Soldier. It is a clinic. Kier, from an empty board, has everything that he needs to win, and then flips a card that I'm sure is about to get banned to cold wave Bean Soldier out of the game.
we've seen precise fine-tuning that has led casters
Look at Josh's face.
Of cards that
he's using Monster Reborn here.
Board states beyond what we're comfortable with. Interaction is a core piece of the Elestrals trading card game.
That's definitely true. This weekend was like, listen, counter runes like Dionysus's Madness prove that they want you doing back row wars. Like, you are playing Bottomless, you are playing Fiendish Chain, you have to be playing these cards.
And we've heard players' concerns over some of these.
And a lot of the new ones are really cool. Like, Guardian of Light is a dope-ass card. Rise from the Shadows is fucking awesome. But
powerful cards that remove an opponent's opportunity to respond. With this, we'll be implementing a few new bans that will be effective from October 24th. To start, we will be banning Rise from the Ashes.
This one is... it's one of those cards that was printed before cards were good. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the time, 4 to reanimate a 1-drop was a lot. 6 to reanimate a 3-drop was far too much. Now, a 3-drop will actually get you 6 spirits worth of interaction. Like a Celeste Leo or a Blizztrix actually is worth that much to you, yeah.
This card has been a powerhouse at 3 copies in the past. However, since it's limited to 1, it's still capable of creating a boom or bust scenario where a single threat can come out of nowhere to decide an entire clash.
I think the card that got this banned was Iwooly. Not because it was a good reanimation target, but because it was so adept at, like, getting you to rise. Like, the new Blizztrix deck just sees so much more of its deck.
Next up on the list is the Whirling Destruction rune, Hurricane.
This one is, I guess, a little shocking. So Hurricane is Heavy Storm, and you may have watched my original video in which I was like, I actually don't know if people are going to play this, because if you're only ever getting 1 card, it's not good at all. If you're getting 2 cards, it is good, and if you're getting 3, obviously you win the game on the spot, but 3 is a lot. And for that reason, it was like in and out of mains and sides for the entirety of, like, I think Daybreak meta is when it came out. And then Firestorm, it was in and out as well. They limited it. And then it's like Heavy Storm, and that, like, when it's limited, then everyone's playing it for some fucking reason, right? But it is like, on one hand, it feels a lot less game determinative than a card like Heavy Storm, but on the other hand, I mean, I played some Elestrals with Danny this past weekend, and I won a game off Hurricane, and he was like, that's so stupid, like I couldn't have done anything about it. Yeah, I mean, I actually do. I mean, I agree with this. I think it is a good hit. It's just a little surprising as well.
Hurricane has been a frustrating card for players, and at 1 copy, it can be considered even more challenging.
One thing that I think this forecasts is there may be a change in back row runes, because Hurricane was printed to stop one specific problem, which was Astrabbit set 4. And that's way less available now, not only because cards like Astrabbit are way less powerful than they've been in the past, thanks to cards that just eat them alive. Big combos like Latagon that can just get out super early, and cards like Dionysus's Madness that can force you into bad situations. But also because there are cards that pop back row now. I think the new Aviolith gets really way more powerful as a result of this. I think... definitely there are some scenarios where like Bronteglow really loves this change because they get to play Thunderstorm natively. I don't know.
As most players will include it in every one of their main decks.
Yeah.
With more dynamic runes and
I mean, here's what he's talking
Elestrals
about.
To engage with
Lock getting to eat back row.
I believe the best move forward is to ban Hurricane and give players back the power.
Of course, this also means they're doing
route.
one other thing that I think you all can guess.
This next card will be our final ban for this upcoming change. Effective October 24th, Helios Cherry.
Yeah. So this is the most obvious ban in the history of time. This card's Cold Wave. This card says it can only be played during the draw phase. Opponents can't play runes this turn. If you play it on your turn, it prevents them from Gorgon's Gazing your plays, which means you can then pop the back row if you're going for a very powerful Lockagon or Bear Bomb combo. If you're doing it on your opponent's turn, you are locking them out of removal spells, which means if you've already built a board, it just wins the game. This happened to Josh in his top 4 match. He had a hand that won the game but was 3 runes deep and just couldn't do it because of a Helios' Chariot Ride, putting Kier down to 0. And of course, it occasionally did nothing. We saw our Lockagon pilot play it in game 2 of the final, and it just flat out did nothing. But there's a lot of cards like this, and this exists in Yu-Gi-Oh! Too, where the only play pattern they will ever facilitate feels fucking bad. Like, the best case scenario for this card is it does nothing. The worst case scenario is that it reads win the game. And, like, neither of those are interesting or engaging.
Chariot Ride will be banned in the Elestrals trading card game.
This also can't be limited because, 1, it would feel really bad, and 2, the best counter to Chariot Ride is Chariot Ride. They Chariot Ride, you chain Chariot Ride, and you go, okay, well, you're off too.
This counter rune has been one of the biggest points of community contention, and we can see
yeah,
why.
that's a great way of
This
saying
card
everyone
disables
fucking
too many
hated it.
components in the Elestrals TCG, ultimately minimizing player interactions.
It's a lot like Cold Wave in Edison, right? Like, it is a powerful card that doesn't actually make the format like that much worse, but every time it gets played, you're like, fuck me.
It's one thing to see a significant threat and then find ways to deal with it, but it becomes a big challenge for players to see a big threat that you cannot act upon at all. By banning these 3 cards, we hope the upcoming livestream format and events will bring a better experience for our players and help shine
They definitely
light on
will.
more
Things will be
synergistic
massively
strategies.
improved by this
These
list.
changes will all take effect on October 24th, just in time for our next livestream premiere on the 25th.
Also, I do want to mention, I think there's some stuff that can come off the limited list now. I think Equilinks coming off would be a huge boon, not only to the Latagon decks, but also give people a way to beat multiple back row strategies now that Hurricane's gone. I think Arcolith obviously could come off. I think Kind Leo probably can come off as well. Race to the Top is definitely a product of its time. Resting on Your Laurels is really interesting in a format where everyone's playing Divine Runes, but the others probably have to stay on. It's crazy to be like Lavalith definitely cannot come off, but Lavalith definitely cannot come off.
We are moving quickly here to ensure that we can get a better understanding of the livestream format without these cards suppressing interaction on a routine basis. In December, later this year, we will have a second restriction update. It's crucial that we let this new format breathe and provide players the opportunity to build upon and counter existing strategies. However, until we have more time and data to evaluate, we'll keep the current changes focused on the cards disrupting the goals of Elestrals. We're very excited to see what new strategies emerge in the coming months, and I want to thank you for being a part of Elestrals and building something incredible.
Yeah, that's about as long as it needed to be. I think not a particularly shocking Banlist announcement. Pretty much everyone knew that exactly Helios' Chariot Ride was on the way out and that Rise was soon to follow. Hurricane's the only one that's even a little shocking, and it is pretty reasonable to be like, this is functionally just Helios' Chariot Ride that's a little less flexible. Why would we keep it around? Rough day to be Lycoris, right? Sorry. I'm literally just about to take him out of all of my decks. My bad. No, but I'm super excited about this. I'm super excited about the decks that are going to be playable as a result of this, which includes probably decks that are willing to play Aviolith, definitely Brontiglow. And let me be clear, decks like the Solar list are still really good. Like, even if they can't do the Rise for Celeste Leo play, they're still extremely strong. So I'm just excited. I'm excited. If you want to get into Elestrals, no better time than now. Bye.